The story takes place in Ayakawa, a sprawling modern city where strange things happen beneath the surface. Unseen by most, there's an alternate dimension called the Aether, which is tied to human consciousness. The Aether is a surreal, shifting realm where reality bends, allowing those who enter to manipulate time, space, and even memory, but at a great cost. Only a secretive group known as the Aether Keepers knows of the Aether's existence, and strives to keep the balance between the real world and the unstable, dangerous Aether. Kaito is a seemingly average high school student who leads a normal life until he accidentally falls into the Aether during a school trip. This happens when an old shrine in the mountains seems to collapse during their visit, causing Kaito to slip into the unknown. Inside this strange realm, he meets a mysterious ethereal creature called Luna, who tells him that Kaito has a rare connection to the Aether. Unlike most people who cannot even sense it, Kaito is able to navigate and even wield power from the Aether itself. However, there's a dangerous catch. Each time Kaito taps into the Aether's power, he loses fragments of his own memories. This loss of memory is not immediate but gradual, as Kaito starts forgetting details about his past, his friends, and his own identity. At first, it seems like a small price to pay for gaining incredible abilities. He can manipulate objects, heal wounds, and even alter his perception of time. But as the stakes grow higher, Kaito realizes that his connection to the Aether is far more dangerous than he could have imagined. The Aether is not just a place, but a manifestation of human consciousness and emotions. As Kaito delves deeper into the Aether, he notices that people around him are acting strangely, seeing vivid and unexplainable visions, or experiencing emotions that don't seem to belong to them. The Aether is beginning to leak into the real world, warping reality. Some people even begin to experience memories of their past lives, and others start to hear voices or see shadows of their future. Each time Kaito enters the Aether, the realm shifts depending on his thoughts and memories, becoming distorted reflections of his psyche. At first, these changes are subtle, but the more he interacts with the Aether, the more the lines between reality and the Aether begin to blur. These shifts also reflect Kaito's growing fear of losing himself, and the fear that he may forget everything that makes him human. Kaito's powers attract the attention of the Aether Keepers, a secret society of individuals who protect the balance between the Aether and the real world. They are led by Renji Kuroda, a stoic and enigmatic member who becomes Kaito's mentor. The Keepers are divided into two factions: those who believe the Aether must be sealed off to prevent its corruption, and those who believe that Kaito, as the key to understanding the Aether, should be preserved and used to master its power. Renji's faction believes that Kaito's connection to the Aether is an anomaly, something that shouldn't exist. Some even want to eliminate Kaito before his connection to the Aether causes an irreversible collapse of both worlds. Others, like Aika Shimizu, a fellow student at Kaito's school whose brother disappeared years ago after entering the Aether, want to use Kaito's abilities to bring back lost loved ones or to change the past. This creates an ongoing internal struggle for Kaito, torn between saving the world from the Aether's influence or protecting his own memories and the people he loves. As Kaito grows stronger, he becomes more aware of the consequences of his powers. The more he uses the Aether to fix problems in the real world, the more memories of his past fade away. He starts to forget people, events, and even who he truly is. This raises a central philosophical question. If you lose your memories, do you lose yourself? Are we the sum of our memories, or is there something more to our identity? The show delves deeply into themes of identity, memory, and self-preservation. Kaito grapples with the fear of losing himself as he helps others with his powers. His relationship with Aika becomes strained when she pushes him to use the Aether to save her brother, even if it means forgetting everything about his own life. Similarly, Renji's conflicting motives and hidden past add layers of complexity to the story, as he too faces the temptation of using the Aether for personal gain. The true twist comes when Kaito uncovers a hidden truth. He was never supposed to exist in the Aether. His connection to the realm was artificially created by an ancient being known as the Warden of the Aether, a being who has existed for centuries and manipulated the Aether's power for its own purposes. Kaito was an experiment, an anomaly designed to harness the Aether's abilities for the Warden's gain. This revelation forces Kaito to confront not just the future of the ether, but the very nature of his own existence. As the ether begins to unravel and leak more freely into the real world, Kaito faces an impossible choice. Erase himself completely, effectively wiping his existence and memories from both realms, restoring balance but destroying his identity, or allow the ether to collapse entirely, which would erase both worlds, causing chaos and destruction. His decision could either restore peace to both dimensions or lead to their total collapse. The ether, a battle of wills and memories. In the final act, Kaito must confront the Warden of the ether in a battle of wills and memories. To defeat the Warden, Kaito has to reconcile the conflicting parts of his fractured identity. He must decide whether his memories, his past, his relationships, and his sense of self are worth the cost of the world's survival. Ultimately, Shadows of the Ether is a psychological exploration of what it means to hold on to oneself in the face of overwhelming power and external pressures, as well as the deep-seated fears we all have of losing ourselves in the pursuit of something greater. In essence, Shadows of the Ether is a unique anime that blends fantasy with psychological drama, exploring deep themes of identity, memory, and the price of power. It's a story of self-discovery, moral dilemmas, and the struggle to